What's going on, everybody? Joe here, and tonight is actually the first episode of me and Chris Colstead's podcast. And you can't see him right now; he's on a video chat with me. But here, I can actually give you a little look. And, there we go. There he is. Give him a big smile. Yeah. All right. And we are gonna be talking. Are you recording, bro? Down there? Okay. Yeah, we're going to be talking just about entrepreneurship, lifestyle, business, mindset, lots of interesting stuff here tonight. And our plan is to do this usually, once a week for sure. Usually every Sunday night, but I think it's actually going to be next Saturday where we're going to have a guest on. So anyway, hopefully they can hear you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So we'll jump right into it. I'll just give you guys a little bit of background about myself, and then Joe, you can obviously tell them a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah.
I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. I work for a software company, and I kind of travel a lot, but more than that, I enjoy real estate, and I enjoy really just anything entrepreneur, business related, things focused around the mindset. I'm big on the mindset. Joe and I just became friends, and we've just been kind of bouncing ideas off of each other and learning and growing from each other. So
Yeah.
That's kind of how we got to where we are right now. But Joe, just tell them a little bit more about yourself.
Oh yeah, man. So I got that entrepreneurial seizure, and from then on, just kept going and kept doing different things, trying things out. And this is, one of those things, putting myself out there and my friend out there to build an audience, give out some great content for you guys, and hopefully entertain you as well. I mean, honestly, that's why we're here. So, I know that you're big into real estate right now, Chris. So for hopefully the people watching, if they don't know too much about real estate, that's fine. But hopefully they can either learn something new about it or kind of relate to what you're doing. So tell me a little bit about what's going on right now in your real estate world.
Yeah, so I'll kind of give you like a quick synopsis of how it came about and where we are today. I was trying to pay off college debt, and I thought there were a couple ways to do so, real estate being one of them. Stocks is another option.
Yeah.
So I did a little research, right, and found out that real estate was my best option. So I actually have a business partner, and we started buying houses to rent out. So initially we did the buy and hold strategy, and fast forward, 9 months later, we have 5 units, and we've now adjusted our strategy to the fix and flip rehab style.
Mm-hmm.
So really just building up the network and the power team to put in place. That way those deals roll across, and also getting people to send me deals.
Yeah.
Getting all that set up. That way whenever that deal comes, like we're ready to jump on it.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing really, is just finding the deals,
So, and just trying to network with people and grow in any way possible, right? Just learn from people, be a student of life.
Yeah, definitely. Always learning is super important. That's why reading is really important. Just always learning constantly, which is kind of interesting with school, because like they kind of put you through it, from when you're about 5, and they bring you through, elementary school, middle school, high school, and then you have the option to go to college or not. But I mean, after that point, you think about it, most people never really self-teach after that, and that definitely has something to do with like how India and China are basically passing us, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of education, if you want to look at it formally, right? So like, universities and yada yada, we are like 22nd in the
22nd?
World education or something
22nd in education.
Yeah, but I think the power is not so much in education; it's more of the self-education.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to the system, if you will. But that's all great news and stuff. But we can talk about that a little more in depth another time, maybe another episode. But what have you read or watched? You know, whether it be a video or a podcast or maybe a book that you've read recently that's impacted you or maybe shaped the way you look at things now.
What video or book? Definitely a big one was Think and Grow Rich, and it's kind of cliche, but I read it recently. Obviously it talks about making money and how you have to have a certain mindset to make money. You can't have a fear of poverty. The end of the book talked about fear, and I think it had 6 main fears. One of them being fear of poverty, and I think that's the one that resonates with me the most. The other 5, it was like fear of death and kind of old age. Do you remember some of the other ones? I can't think of them off the top of my head.
One of them was fear of failure.
Fear of failure, maybe. Yeah.
I've got it right here.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, fear of poverty really is just like
fear of ill health, fear of criticism.
Yep. Criticism is definitely another big one.
Fear of loss of love.
Loss of love, yeah.
Fear of old age, fear of death.
Yeah, old age and death. Okay. Yeah, but back to fear of poverty. So really that comes down to a scarcity versus abundance mindset, and that before I was into business at all, I definitely had a scarcity mindset. And I did save up like a decent amount of money for my age. So saving pretty much as I possibly could, always trying to get deals. I wasn't like cutting coupons or anything, but I would never buy like anything name brand, anything like that. Just turning the lights off, things like that. Just scarcity mindset, trying to basically act like every penny counts, which, I mean, now that I have a different kind of outlook on life, if you really think about it, man, you go down the road and you see hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions, or maybe, depending on where you live, billions of dollars just on the road. Trees, vehicles, people's clothing, real estate, buildings, basically, businesses, things like that. So there's so much money in the world. There's no reason why the fear of poverty should be so common, but it really is, and it comes back to like being brought up that way.
Absolutely, yeah. And society puts those, it is an agenda pushed by the media, the scarcity and the fear mindset.
You think so?
Absolutely. The people that, let's say you come home right after you get off work, you're like, hey, I'm about to kick back, had a long day, I did well today, man, but I'm about to turn the TV on for the next 4 hours and watch the news where they talk about all this crazy stuff that's going on around the world, and pushing their agenda to put you in a fear mindset and a scarcity mindset. And then go ahead.
Yeah, so give me an example. Do you have an example of like something that you've seen specifically?
Well, I mean, let's take it like, okay, so this is just my perspective, right?
Yeah,
so I don't watch TV,
okay.
but at the hotels that I work out at, like I'm in a hotel right now,
yeah.
I go into the gym and they have CNN on, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything they talk about is politics, war, what's happening in other countries,
yeah.
Like killings and stuff like that. All these crazy things, which they're happening, right? Like there's no need to deny them.
Yeah.
But on a micro level, day to day, that does not affect you and what you do with life.
Right, I completely agree with that. Definitely, yeah. The thing about North Korea can definitely affect us, but as far as most of the other things like the killings that you were talking about, and that's terrible. Obviously, that's not something to joke about, or whether it's newsworthy or not is up for debate. Whatever sells is at the end of the day what they're putting. They're not talking about how people come out of college and they're in debt and don't know how to get a job, don't know what they want to do for work.
They're not financially literate. They don't understand money.
They don't not only understand money, but understand how to make money, and learn about just things in general, really. It's
right,
crazy.
And have money work for them.
Right.
The saying of to work on your business, not work in your business.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much business taught at all, unless you go to a business school. Personally, I haven't gone to that, so I don't know what they do there per se, but at the end of the day, the only way you're going to learn business is by doing it.
Yeah, and that you bring up a good point,
Yeah.
because here comes that real life experience versus the college, reading the textbook,
Mm-hmm.
going to class type of mentality. You cannot replicate, in my opinion, you can't replicate that real world experience in the classroom. There's just no way to do so.
Yeah, definitely.
Things that you read in the textbook and whatnot, they're great for definitional things or whatever and concepts, but it's all finite. Like when you're out in the real world, let's say you gotta come up with a solution
Mm-hmm.
for a client. Like you have to create a solution, right? It's not like there's just this finite, you got 3 choices to choose from.
Right.
It's like, we don't know how to do this, but we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And that type of mentality taken into the real world, and really anything you do, you just can't beat it.
Yeah, and kind of tying it all back together, Think and Grow Rich is that different perspective on life that, the media, for one, whatever, and the mainstream educational system really doesn't teach you. So it's nice to have just a different view of the whole world, all in all, and how everything can work for you if you kind of take advantage of it, really. It's all about taking advantage of the opportunities that are given to you or open for you to take advantage of.
Yeah, and just to give everyone like a quick premise of what the book is about.
Yeah,
the gentleman Napoleon Hill took it upon himself after a 3-day conversation he had with Andrew Carnegie, who was one of the wealthiest men of his time, second to Rockefeller.
Mm-hmm. Railroad.
Absolutely incredible individual.
Yeah.
He's like the ultimate guy in my opinion.
I mean, he's great at people skills, really, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, but so Napoleon Hill had this conversation with Andrew Carnegie and basically said, hey, Andrew asked him, hey, can you basically interview 500, he ended up interviewing 500 of the most successful people of his time,
mm-hmm.
but basically Andrew said, hey, can you just be a student to all these individuals and see how they think? And Napoleon Hill said, I'm going to take it upon myself to spend the rest of my life interviewing these people and figuring out what makes them tick.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what this book is that compilation of all those notes and everything that he found out from all these people. And what it boils down to is your mindset, right? It boils down to programming your mind subconsciously and consciously, overcoming
mm-hmm.
the fears,
mm-hmm.
and creating a plan, like a finite plan, like, hey, I know by this date I want to earn X amount of dollars, or I want to do X thing.
Yeah.
And that the skills maybe you want to grow. I want to grow X skill by this time. It's just really incredible. I highly recommend that book.
Yeah. So what about you, as far as the book?
Yeah. So since I'm a mindset guy, the most recent book I've read is The Power of Now. Really, it talks a lot about the subconscious, just like Think and Grow Rich.
The Power of Now. Who's that by?
Eckhart Tolle.
Okay.
Yeah, I can send you the link, or we put the link somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's really about the thoughts that you have and the being that you are. They're really not you, right? So you don't have to. So if you think a thought, you don't have to own it, right? You have the ability to look on that thought and say, hey, that's not an appropriate thought. I'm not gonna, let's say that.
So like, if somebody
make a judgment on someone.
So like, what you're saying is somebody like interesting walks by you and you're like, never mind. That's a thought in my head that I'm not taking ownership of.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. But in addition to that, and it all comes back to your mindset. So let's say you have a scarcity mindset. You think you're in a position where you have an opportunity here, okay? Joe, you got this opportunity. You can either be in the scarcity mindset and squander this opportunity, or you can be in the abundance mindset and see this opportunity for what it is.
And take the risk, really, is what it comes down to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So having that ability to think a thought and say, no, I don't want to go with that one. I want to go with this thought.
Mm-hmm.
Is really interesting. But in addition to that, it also talks about how, we have souls, and that's really what powers us, right? So, like someone who's dead and someone who's alive, the only difference is the soul. They still weigh, dead person weighs as much as he was when he was alive, but what's not there is his spirit and his soul, right?
Right.
Um, so anyway, it's just really interesting and a great perspective on how you can look at life and how crazy life is and how complex it is.
Okay, so definitely a good read. What's it called again?
Power of Now.
The Power of Now. The Power of Now. Yeah, and kind of talking about why we're talking about books in general is because if you look at the most wealthy people in the world, right? Name a few: Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, the people who own Walmart, the Walters family, right? The Sam Walton and the rest of them. All of them read, and that's a fact. I think I heard that Mark Zuckerberg started like a book club where he has to read a book a week or something. You know, they say that on average, millionaires read some like 50 or 60 books a year, which comes down. CEOs, okay. And that's averages to about a book a week. So, and there's a reason for that. That's one of the ways that they become successful is always learning, constantly learning, taking in knowledge from, not only people mentors, not only videos you see, but also books. And the thing about books is like they're super long form, so they go into great depths about things that nobody is gonna sit there and kind of talk to you about. They're not gonna say every line over and over again just like that. So that's why books are really, really cool. And I went to a kind of a digression. I went to a public library. They were having a sale, and I bought like almost 100 books, and I got all of them stuffed in my dresser right now, or my bookshelf or whatever. They're like popping out. Let me see if I can get that. I don't know if you can see the. Yeah, and then on the inside is more just stacked straight up, and I'm gonna read them, so, and that's just knowledge right there. But yeah, so what about as far as movies or some kind of other form of education?
Yes, so I watch typically I try to do it once a day. Watch a motivational video. It's about 10 minutes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and dude, this video is unbelievable. People like Kevin Hart, Tony Robbins, Kobe Bryant, they're all in this video talking about what they do,
right.
And why they're separated from everyone else.
Yeah.
And Kobe he calls it the Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality is basically, I'm going to put in more work than you, and I'm going to do that consistently for years. So let's say in 5 years we look back at it, and you're still doing your whatever. Let's say you do 2 sessions a day, I do 4. Okay, so 5 years from now, no matter what you do, you cannot catch up to me because I'm going to consistently do my 4 sessions every single day.
Yeah.
And regardless if you do 6 sessions, you still won't catch up. So it's just that mentality of doing something consistently over a period of time to better yourself. And I mean, it all comes down to, it does take effort. And I think everything in life takes effort. So I feel like we can't use that as an excuse. Like, oh, I'm tired. Honestly, like
that's a great excuse.
Me too. But I still continue to move on and do the things necessary to put myself in a position to succeed.
That's one of my favorite excuses, honestly. So I don't really appreciate you doing that.
Hey, dude, I have plenty of conversations with myself where I'm like, dude, you're tired, right? Like, yeah, man, I'm just ready to go to bed. I'm like, nope. And there are sometimes, like, I'm not perfect, right? So, like, sometimes I'm like, damn, I'm tired. I'm out.
Yeah, if you get to that point, that's when you got to take that pre-workout, huh? Start feeling it.
But one other thing is I listened to a podcast recently, Gary Vee. There's a brown paper bag, volume 2 or whatever it was, and he had Joe Anderson on there as a professional football player.
Yeah.
And Joe talks about his journey to play professional football.
Yeah.
And the ways that he created opportunities for himself so that he may succeed in the National Football League, even when no one would give him a shot.
Right.
Oh, it just goes to show like this. It's just amazing what people can do um, when you're not fearful of consequences or like things that could happen. Obviously, in Joe's scenario, he wasn't doing anything criminal, so it doesn't matter. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's like
Yeah.
taking the necessary steps and overcoming those fears to be a better version of yourself in life.
Right. What I got from that podcast, I listened to most of it when I was, I think, going to the gym today, is that Joe, Joe, first of all, the best name in the universe. Second of all, what he did was he put in extra time and extra effort, like what you were saying, between the 4 and the 2 or the 6. He did it consistently every single day, putting in the extra training time so that he would get picked for that sport, and then he did, and that's really what it comes down to: is consistency, and hard work, and that's what pays off. At the same time, for me at least, I'm trying a whole bunch of new ideas all the time recently. I'm trying to find something that is gonna work, and I'm dating all these ideas. So maybe consistency is lacking there. I'm trying something out, and then I'm like, yeah, move on to the next girl, the next business project. Really, is what it comes down to. But you can kind of make it a metaphor with the girls and the businesses.
Right, absolutely, and I think that those things are necessary.
Yeah.
There's a saying, and this gentleman named Nate Minningham, I believe is his last name. Saying is basically get lost to find yourself. So, in a sense, like we're trying different things. We're trying to find what's going to stick, right?
Yeah.
And we don't really. I mean, we do have direction, right? We have where we want to go, but in the short term, we're just trying things, trying to see if something will stick, something will work.
Yeah.
Which is perfect because we're at the perfect age to do so. I mean, I think you should do it anyway, whatever age you're at. But
yeah, for sure. I mean,
you have to take into account responsibilities.
Yeah. Speaking of whatever age you're at, I was listening to, I think it was Tim Ferriss, maybe, podcast talking about this person. I can't remember who it was, but they studied the psychology of people who were basically on their deathbed, and they were trying to figure out what these people regret the most in life. And the number one thing really was just the things they didn't do. So the fact that if you're going out there and you're testing things out, I mean, yeah, I threw whatever it is, thousands, hundreds, or just $10 into an idea, or maybe hundreds of thousands, depending on who you are. Maybe, yeah, you lose that money, but what you gain from the failure is just simply experience, and that transcends anything else, just in life, period. Is just doing. So
yeah. And also one thing to note on that, and we'll move on, is that's what money is for, right? Like money, people think there's like a scarcity of money.
Yeah. That was me, man.
Spend $10,000 to learn a lesson, that it's a bad thing. Like, it's not. Money is strictly a vehicle for you to do the things you want to do in life.
Yeah, right. It's a tool.
At the time, when you made the investment, or whoever made the investment, that's what you wanted to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Money is meant to be made and meant to be spent. I'd rather make it on a large scale so that I can have a larger impact.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. Like, and it all comes down to the experience and experimenting.
Yeah, and that whole scarcity mindset was totally me. Like just buying things cheap just to save up for retirement or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're taking that money, and some people have kids, they got to take care after that, whatever, things like that. There's never a perfect time to do it. Is really what it comes down to. So you got to figure out what works for you, but still using that money for as a tool is much more important than hoarding it to not work when you're 65, when you're gonna die in 2 years because you're an alcoholic. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. So was there something like a big action you took this week, or something you implemented that you'd like to discuss?
Yes, there definitely was. a huge thing that I started recently, and I've been kind of thinking about it. Let me back it a little bit. I've been down doing hurricane relief for Hurricane Harvey, and I was thinking of money-making opportunities, and what I decided to go with right now is mowing lawns. And I came back, and then I figured out what I needed to do, and I was like, door-to-door sales. Start off small. There's no investment, so the risk is minimal, but the reward, if I persist, is pretty good for a first venture, basically a first successful venture. So what I did today was I basically did that. I went door to door with a lawnmower and asked people if they wanted their lawn mowed. It's not the best season, obviously, for that, and really what it comes down to is I didn't get any people to say yes, and I needed to brush up on my sales skills, really. But what it was is that it put me out there, and tomorrow hopefully I'm gonna go out there again and make shit happen, basically.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Glad to hear that, man.
Yeah. What about you? Oh, go ahead.
I just want to commend you and give you a compliment that you're out taking action, right? And you're not just sitting and thinking about the idea of mowing lawns, because it sounds great when you think about yourself mowing lawn, because you can see yourself mowing, but acquiring those customers takes action and persistence, and I think you're doing a good job at that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give you a compliment.
Appreciate it, man. What about you as far as actions or implementation of anything?
Yeah, so recently, like in the last week, the biggest thing for me and my business partner for the real estate was networking with people. Man, just constantly reaching out to random people, man. LinkedIn people I've connected with. Just someone I met during the day, like, hey man, let's go out for dinner tonight. We all went out, had like one of the best conversations. It was crazy.
So why do you do that?
Because I see these people who, and I kind of feel them out while I'm speaking with them, what their mindset looks like.
Yeah.
And I made a video on my Instagram about the friends that I want to surround myself with, that type group of people who are going to push me, hold me accountable, but they're also taking action themselves, right? Yeah. And so all of these people that we've been networking with, they're all taking action and implementing these things, their goals.
Yeah.
So it's really to get a perspective and to just connect with people, because you just never know who they know. They might be able to hook me up with the next big opportunity for me.
Yeah.
Or go into business with me, or whatever the case may be, right? You just never know. But I do know that they have a particular mindset or a knack for things.
Right. So what you're saying is you're weeding out the people who you see as basically potential opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're trying to hold on to people who have opportunity for you, and vice versa. Obviously, give and take always.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's smart.
Yeah, it has to be a win-win. Otherwise, I back out of that situation. Seriously, like if I'm reaching out to someone and I don't see myself providing them benefit, or they clearly indicated to me, like I will say, okay, maybe it's not for me, because there's millions of people that make millions of dollars. So there's definitely some out there we can become friends with. It doesn't have to be that one specific.
Yeah, for sure. So networking for you is a big thing that you do. That's good. Always got to be networking.
Building up that team, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, so unless you had anything more to say, we can go on to the next.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So do you have a quote? Favorite quote of the week?
Yeah. My quote is, the pessimists see the difficulty in every opportunity, but the optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty.
Okay. Say that one more time, but say it real slow and think, because I needed a little bit more to process it personally.
Okay. So the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty.
Ooh, that's spicy. It's backwards and then forwards.
Right. So essentially, what I do is I look for people who are optimists.
Yeah.
Because they're solution driven, if you will, as opposed to problem driven, where they focus more on the problem than.
Yeah. So what about people who are pessimists? What if they're going through a bout of depression, right? What about them? So you're saying these pessimists, they see, I think you said, difficulty in every opportunity, right?
Right.
So just, yeah, what about that?
Well, I mean, it all goes. It kind of ties back into what you mentioned about society, right? We have all these norms and these dogmas that are pushed on us at an early age. That, like, I know for me, I was in a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
But it took willpower. It took reading. It took learning from other people to get myself out of that.
Yeah.
Right. So. The pessimists, they don't take the time and the effort to do that. They'd rather dwell on the problem as opposed to
find the solution
in the difficulty.
Yeah.
So, and it's a constant work in progress. It's not like I'm 100% optimistic all the time. Like, I catch myself being pessimistic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Right? It's like, I'll give you a great example. Let's say I am with someone who is a pessimist, but I have to because of work. Like, let's say it's like a client or whatever.
Right.
I can't push my beliefs on him.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but that wouldn't really turn out well.
Yeah.
So really, I try to minimize the damage that it does to me. So whether that be steering conversations that we have into a more positive light.
Yeah.
So that I come out of the conversation like, hey, I'm feeling good about this, as opposed to like, man, I'm right there with you, man. I hate X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, man.
So
I definitely resonate with that quote about the pessimists see the bad, and then the optimists see opportunity in bad. I lost my train of thought a little bit there.
So do you have a quote for this week?
just fuck it. Fuck it sideways. Alright, I do have a quote. And this quote is amazing. You're gonna love this quote.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You're gonna love this quote, man. It's in a song by a rapper. You listen to rap, right?
Of course.
Okay. And his name's Kid Cudi. You know, little underground guy, probably never heard of him. Nah, but on the real, it's in his newer album, which was great. I thought it was really good. Anyway, the quote is, "The universe never steered me wrong. The universe never lied." So, you know, when he kind of sings it, he's like, "The universe never steered me wrong. The universe never lied." In the song, if you've heard it. And why it resonated with me so much is because every thought that you have, right? Every single thought, all of them, about anything, was meant to be. That's you. You know? So everything that you're doing right now, and obviously you can change that. You can mold it into whatever you want. But at the end of the day, there's something that we can't explain, you know, that brings us to where we are. And that's really what it is. That, you know, the universe never steered me wrong. You know, even though I have these failures with business, or I went door to door and nobody wanted me to mow their fucking lawn, whatever, you know, there's a reason for that. Well, I suppose, or hopefully there's a reason for that, you know, and it never lied. So everything that you're doing is the truth. You know, everything that you're doing is important and real. Everything you think in your head, all those thoughts that you have, and then you even want to deter them and forget about them, there's a reason for that too. And that's to grow you as a person, so that you can one day rub off the positivity on somebody else.
Right.
So what do you think about that quote, though?
Man, that's powerful. So I reached out to someone on LinkedIn recently and sat down with them on Friday last week, and we had a conversation about being at the right place at the right time. Exactly what you're talking about, how the universe sort of organizes things.
Yeah.
We call it organized chaos.
Yeah.
where you kind of are like, how is this happening?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Yeah.
But it's all for a reason, and I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Right.
Kind of
Right.
like, that idea of destiny.
Yeah, you're a little bit more of a religious person than me, but yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, it does. I guess it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The idea of the universe happening for a reason. It's somehow organized.
Yeah.
I just think that is so cool, and then, because really, the way I see it is like we're all on this journey, and when things happen, they may deter you from your goal, like life happens, but it's up to you to get back on that track. Right?
Yeah, let me blow your mind right now. You watching this, talking to you. Let me break the fourth wall. Why are you here? There's a reason why you are following us. There's a reason why you clicked this video, and there's a reason why you stayed this long or skipped ahead even to this point, and this caught your attention. And you can take that and think on it, or you can just forget about it. Whatever you want to do, it's your life, and whichever way you go, there's a reason for that, supposedly. But yeah,
it hits home every time for me because I'm so mental. Like, I think all the time about everything, about life, and why do we do the things we do, and just the idea after reading The Power of Now, the idea of your body is a thing, right? It does, you identify with it, right? But we are something different from our body. We're like a spirit, right?
Right, kind of like a soul, I suppose, or a mind, or the brain. Really, the brain is powerful.
Yeah, and man, it's just crazy because we can literally change our body based on what we think.
Well, yes. I thought you were going to say based on lifting heavy weights, but maybe that's what I think.
I've been putting down things, man. You know that all too well.
I pick things up and put them down.
Why are weights so heavy?
But they're not, though. When you get them at that right angle and you kind of put it through the bench, and you're like, wow. Like, big ass weights. Like, I mean, for me, big ass weights is like an 80 or 85 on bench. But anyway, let's not worry about that.
I really like that quote.
Yeah.
You just tie everything back together.
Yeah, with that book, right.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's also another author I recommend. His name is Osho. He doesn't have a first name. He's got plenty of books.
Osho. So how old is he? Is he still alive?
I'm not 100% on that, but
I thought I thought you would have known. I haven't read any of his things. I think he does poetry, right?
No, I mean he writes a lot about like courage, freedom, joy.
I thought he was an ancient guy from way back.
No, this is like a really far-fetched approach to life.
Okay.
And I believe that those who have a really far-fetched approach to life, I feel like they have a bigger impact.
Okay, so
like the Einsteins.
So I just looked it up. He was from 1931 to 1990, so we missed him. He died at 58. But Osho, Indian godman and leader of some movement. Definitely a really spiritual guy. But what were you saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's. No, I mean, I highly recommend all of his books because it's kind of the reason why we read, alright, because his point of view is so far-fetched that we could probably I'd take like 12 gold nuggets from him.
It's kind of like putting pineapple on pizza is what you're saying.
Exactly. Like, it just provides that different perspective, like Napoleon Hill does,
yeah.
All these, Robert Kiyosaki, all these people, they provide a different perspective than what you would be given.
Yeah, I haven't checked him out, but I definitely need to. Osho, I definitely got to check him out, for sure.
So, where can people find you, Joe?
Well, there's a couple people that tuned in on Instagram, so I'm going to be posting these live. So if you want to comment on them while they're recording, go follow me on Instagram at Joe P Godin, and that's spelled out JoePGodin. Just my name, Joe P Godin. My Snapchat's the same, and then we're gonna be putting this on my YouTube channel as well as yours, Chris's. My YouTube channel is simply Joe Godin. Oh, you can look me up, Joe Godin, but I think you have to have some number of followers to change the address and the web address on YouTube, and I don't think I've gotten that just yet. But I think if you look it up, then you should be able to find my YouTube channel. And then we're gonna also be putting this on iTunes in the near future, and when that happens, we'll announce it on the podcast, letting everybody know that it's on iTunes presently. But right now it's not. But yeah, anyway, where can I find you, Chris?
So all my handles are Chris Kolstad, Chris Kris, last name Kolstad KOHLSTEDT. Snapchat's just Chris_Kolstad.
Yeah.
So feel free to drop a follow
Mm-hmm.
and see what we're up to.
Yeah, go ahead and like this and comment it and share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, and get this known. If you're watching on iTunes right now, go ahead and leave a review. We greatly appreciate it. Anything that you guys comment, any suggestions you want to put those down right now, and we'll try our best to fulfill them. I think in the future, in the next upcoming episodes, we're going to be doing giveaways, and that's a fact. I don't know when, but we're going to do them. So if you watch it live, you can get that added benefit of someone's going to win it, of winning whatever we're putting up there. And I'm thinking right now it's going to be PayPal transfers of maybe $10 or $25, or maybe a gift card, smaller ticket items for now. Do you have any input on that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. We're ready to hit the ground running, man.
Yeah.
This is a good first episode. I thought we did really well. It'll get better. We're not perfect. We're just trying something new, trying to get ourselves out there and make an impact on other people.
Yeah, definitely.
Insight.
Definitely.
So thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.